This episode of Film Right's brought to you by Domain.com. Today on Film Right, we do some filmmaking, iPhone style.
Come on!
Doing the best I can.
Can't die.
Can't. He's not going to.
He can't stay under this long. You're gonna kill
Not
him!
helping me, man.
You gotta save him.
He's gonna make it. I promise you that.
On your life?
What?
You swear to me. On your life.
Yeah, sure. My life.
Good. Because if you fail, I'm gonna kill the shit out of you. And that's a promise. I'll get that out of him.
Hey, you guys want pizza for dinner? No! Welcome to Film Right, the show that teaches you how to make movies with whatever you can find lying around your house, or in today's case, your pocket. Since the release of the iPhone 4S, we have gotten a ludicrous amount of questions about shooting video on this lovely little device. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of questions, like an obscene amount, like old guy with a trench coat on the side of the road obscene. You know what I'm saying? So I say to you, why not today? Huh? Why the F word not? Am I right? Roll that shizzle bizzle. I have to be honest with you peoples, I was very skeptical going into this thing. I did not think we were going to get the type of image we ended up with from a friggin' cell phone. So sure, it has tons of issues, but effing A for apples, man. The picture I pulled from this cellular deviceness was completely usable for a small short film. Now you may be asking yourself, WTF, Ryan Sauce, how in the blue-bellied goat balls did you retrieve such an image from said pocket phone? Well, it's tricky, and of course, this is a cell phone. It's not at all meant to be a pro video camera, but it can be done if you know the trick. So, let's get into some tricklets. What have you. The first of those tricky tricks is getting the right app to shoot your video with. The number one mistake you can make is trying to shoot this with the built-in video app. That thing sucks a lot. The app I use is called FiLMiC Pro, which you can get on the App Store for only $4. But let me take you through a quick overview of this bad boy. We open this lovely lady and you will see it's a simple UI, very easy to operate. So starting to the left, we have the focus lock, then the exposure lock, the white balance lock, and the LED light off and on switch. Then you have the info button, the film strip, which we won't be using, and then finally settings. Before I explain how to operate the tools, what do you say we get the settings right? First place I'm going is to the resolution. Bam! Make sure this mother effer is set to 1920 by 1080. Bam! Now I'm going to slap frames per second in the face. A bam. Set that lard fart to 24. Then turn audio meter on. Whack. Framing guide gets punched in the gooch and set to 235 to 1. And finally, keep Super 35 matte mother effing freaking off. Why am I so adamant about this? Well, I learned the hard way. By turning Super 35 matte on, the app will automatically put the widescreen bars onto the video for you, which is cool. But What I found out is that every time you stop recording, the friggin' app takes like 10 minutes to process the video and render the bars onto your clip. So we got a shot done, and then we got stuck waiting on the friggin' thing to finish processing so we could shoot again. Then we do another take, stop recording, and guess what? It took me like an hour to realize why this was happening, and it made it impossible to get a good workflow. So once I turned that off and just used the framing guide, it was a lot better. So just use that framing guide, put the bars in post yourself. Now we move down to advanced encoding, tap video, and set that shizzle to 48 megabits per second. You can set it lower if you want to conserve space, but this is how you will get the highest quality and the most info for color correction later. Now we go back and down to audio and set that to uncompressed. What? Hold the phone, Ryan. You use the audio right out of the iPhone? No, I didn't. I actually ran external audio using the H4n zoom. I use the iPhone audio only for reference. However, even the audio from the iPhone surprised me. With the right gear, you could probably use the audio right out of the phone and it would be completely usable. But all I had was this little mic extender, as you can see here. But just to show you the kind of audio you can get on this cell phone as compared to the H4n zoom.
Come on!
I'm doing the best I can.
Can't die.
Can't! He's not going to.
He can't stay under this long. You're gonna kill
You're not
him!
helping me, man.
Come on!
I'm doing the best I can.
Can't die.
Can't! He's not going to.
He can't stay under this long. You're gonna kill
You're not
him!
helping me, man.
So if you don't have extra audio gear, just make sure to shoot in a very quiet environment and you should be able to use the audio straight from the friggin' iPhone. But now back to the app. So we have our settings right now, it is time to use it. The square you see here is the focus. Tap and drag it over the area you want to focus on. Then click the focus lock button here. If you don't, the phone will always be trying to get focus and it does this weird jittery thing. It's not so good. Next is the exposure. Tap the circle and drag that to the image partition area that you want to expose for, and then hit exposure lock. And finally, we have the white balance. Get anything that is fully white, like a sheet or paper, fill the frame with it, and then hit the white balance lock. And now you are ready to do your first shot. So we have our app set. Next up, we are going to talk about the rig I used and some lighting tips when using your cell phone. But first, sponsor time. If you're setting up a website to start your business or blog, domain.com is the best place for you to go for your great idea. You've heard it from me before. Domain.com makes it easy to get your domain name and website up and running. Blog, create a website, showcase your portfolio, make money on the internet, set up a new email address for your personal domain. There is so much that you can do. And the guys over at domain.com love them some film riots, and they love you guys, and they want to hook you up with 15% off of your domain name and web hosting. So use the coupon code FILMRIOT when you're checking out at domain.com and get that 15% off. So don't forget, use coupon code FILMRIOT, and when you think domain names, think domain.com.
Logo.
The first rule in cell phone cinematography is more light. When you think you have enough light, friggin' add some more. The best thing to do is to shoot outside since you have the sun. The more light you have, the better it's gonna look. These things do not do well in low light friggin' at all. So I had a Owle 1K, a 500 watt softbox, a few FloLights, which I freaking love these babies. I've had them for a few months now, testing them out, getting to learn them, and I have to say, these are some of my favorite lights I have ever owned. If you want to know more about their deliciousness, go here, and I'll be showing you guys more about them and showcasing them what they do on the show very soon. For this scene, I used two 1K equivalent FloLight panels, and these things, they pump out the equivalent of a friggin' tungsten 1K, but they're LED lights, so I can get them really close to the actors without it being too hot for them and melting their freaking face off. It actually stays relatively cool. Then I also had two smaller LED strips from FloLight that I could place anywhere, like on the table in front of them as a bottom light, which is why the bottom of their eye was filled in so nicely. Next is the Owle rig. I knew I wanted to do this handheld since the iPhone is comically bad when it comes to handheld. I wanted to add the challenge of getting handheld to work to the mix of other challenges when shooting a freaking short with a freaking iPhone. So I grabbed the Owle. This is a stabilizing device for the iPhone. You plop your iPhone into place like so, and now grip it from these handles instead of the iPhone itself. I was pretty shocked on the difference that this made just with the Owle alone and no additions to that. For instance, here's without the Owle, and now here's with. If you look here, you'll see that it has screw holes on the bottom, so you can mount it to tripods or anything like that. and a spot on top to where you can add like a camera light or a Rode mic or other thingy things. It also comes with this wide angle lens. You screw it on front here and you get a much wider angle of view. For instance, without the wide angle and with it. I didn't use it for this sketch since I was shooting everything pretty tight. Now the Owle is great. It definitely helps eliminate shake, but I wanted to go one step further and get my hands as far away from the actual sensor of the camera as possible. So I attached my Bogan magic arm, shaped it into like a V shape, and then use it as sort of my own personal little Steadicam build. You could also do the same thing with like a lightweight tripod, and that should work just fine. The whole idea is to stabilize the image by moving your shaky hands as far away as you possibly can. This time, by the way the motion hits the camera, it's much smoother. But there you have it, 3 key things to good iPhone cinematography. 1, a good app like FiLMiC Pro. 2, tons of light, freaking tons of light. And 3, stabilization with something like the Owle, which if you want one of your own, check out their site sees here. I think the best thing about this is that it shows that no matter what you have at your disposal, you can start making films now. Technology has gotten to the point where a viable tool for making a short film is right in your freaking pocket, and that's amazing. Now, does that mean I would put down my 5D to use an iPhone instead? God, no. There are a numerous amount of shortcomings to keep me from ever using my iPhone as the the main A cam. I mean, maybe for some B-roll shots, especially behind the scenes stuff, and you're just certainly very limited when you're using it. But the idea is to make do with what you have. If you have a flip camera or a cell phone, you can still do great work. It's a little bit harder, but hey, it might be like when you learn the guitar and you learn on acoustic, but then you play electric. By the time you're playing electric, you're like, this is easy. So stop talking about it and get out there and do it.
Logo.
So that's it, ladies and not ladies. Next week, we're going to be getting into some more about this, including some comparisons between the iPhone and the 5D. But until then, you can follow me on my Twitter land, a Twitter place where I tweet right here. You can also do the Facebook thing if you wanna. And little announcement before we go, my Triune Apparel side of the company has all of our shirts back in stock. And since you guys loved it so much last time, we're doing another promotion for anybody who buys anything over the course of the next 2 weeks. You will be automatically entered into a random drawing to win one of the following. Either a slate, we're giving away 2 of these bad boys, and 3 Blu-rays of some of my favorite movies. This is a professional grade slate. It's a dry erase board. I use one just like it in Tell that you can use in your short films. And the cool thing is on the back here is going to be signed by everybody in Film Riot. So you'll have the chance to win one of these 2 that we're giving away, or 3 Blu-rays of some of my favorite films. Just jump over, buy anything. You could buy one thing, you could buy all of them. Doesn't really matter. You'll be entered into the random drawing to win. So then you get your shirt, and you're like, oh my gosh, why is the package hard? Yes, I got something extra. I'll see you next week when I find a pirate ship in a cave with my friends.
Keep going.